Good morning, TIs. Hi, good people. This is Sherry, and I'm here with some free and valuable information for you. Information to help you benefit yourself as well as others if you care to listen. Okay, usually my videos are centered around research and reviews that I do, different things, movies, products. Last time I did hair product, cleaning tips. Um, Book reviews, psychology, things about, psychological studies that have been done, um, technology, little tools, little tips that can help you, better utilize the technology we have available. Just little tips. I'm not a real big tech head, obviously, but just research and reviews on various topics of interest that can benefit you as well as others. However, today on Saturdays, hi TIs, this is when I do my little continuation of a series I like to call puzzles, Perp Puzzles. I am trying to piece together puzzles in regards to my targeting, being a targeted individual, TI. So that's why I say hi, TIs. And slowly but surely, I think it's beginning to unravel. And my goal is to obviously get myself out of the crosshairs of being a targeted person. However, knowing fully that as Christians and as people, targeting exists on all levels for all, it's been since the dawn of time. It's a form of bullying. So I don't know how I expect it to cease, but I love myself enough to at least give it a shot. I don't want to be bullied anymore. And it's beginning to affect my life in a large way. And I know the dramatic effects that can happen if you don't address it, like any bullying. I think on a grand scale to a small scale, if you don't address things, they will get worse. And then you never know when you talk things out, treaties can be made, allies can be made, solutions can be found. So I'm gonna look at it in a positive light. That's the only way I can. All right, so this week, so it's Saturday. I told you guys I'd release these videos every Saturday. It's been a big week, huh? With everything going on. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep that in mind as I speak because I do not want to flare up an environment that's already, agitated. Okay, you picture like a ocean, and sometimes it's calm and it's nice and it's flowing, and then some days when the storm is coming, it's agitated, and the waters are choppy, so you don't want to go sailing on that day or boating or whatnot. That's my analogy. I enjoy the water. How about you guys? Summertime, right? Water. Yeah, we live on a Great Lake, so we love our water here in the Midwest. Okay, so this week, um, I'm just going to get straight to it. I'll talk about some names that have been brought up. And I don't like to name names and I don't like to put people on the spot, but these are names continuously brought up to me by perps. And also, these are things I see with my own eyes as far as my targeting, who's playing a part in it. Okay? Now, all right. I'll just say it, but keep in mind too that targeting is, I believe, at a higher level. It's organized crime, but it's also, I just do believe there's an element of government to have everybody involved like this. There's only so far of a reach that organized crime has, like employment. Again, I've said it before and I'll say it till the cows come home. Nobody at regular companies is going to let organized crime bully them. Usually, okay, especially big companies. I work for bigger companies, and they're not going to be cowed by organized crime usually, and not every single one. Okay, so the fact that it's continuous, that tells me there's an element of government. Okay, now I can trace that back to human experimentation. Okay, which would not be a very personal thing. It's being done all over the globe to many people. I'm not the only one. um, However, because of the element of risk for assault in my case, that's why I am, you know, making a making noise on it. Okay, because yeah, these programs, they can start out, hey, we're going to experiment medically, but then it can go and cross, it and the things that they can do. You guys follow me here, TIs, I know you do. The things they can do with technology and the human brain puts us all at risk for the ability to be assaulted, especially, I would say, especially my single people, especially women, men too though. But when you're single and you sleep at home alone, very vulnerable time to be. Okay, especially with the new technology, it can log right into your brain waves, and do things. White memory, oh yeah, that's a thing. Yes, intelligence agencies use that, kind of like the Men in Black, where they do the little neuralizer and you don't remember anything. That's a real thing. The way that works is that in order for your thoughts to form memories, a chemical called acetylcholine has to form to make those thoughts, store, okay, as it were, in our database, right? If that chemical doesn't get a chance to form for whatever reason, you can stop it with pills, with frequencies, okay? Then the memories never have a chance to form. That's why things like date rape drugs, roofies, GHB, right? What's the other one? Roofies, GHB, and there's a couple, Special K, all those work on acetylcholine in the brain. That's why when people are date raped, they wake up and they have no memory. They know they've been raped, but they don't remember a thing about it. Okay, and you wonder how. Well, because the brain has to store those thoughts, those events into memories. If that chemical is erased through drugs, or which other chemicals override it, stop the receptors or open the receptors, there you go. That chemical never forms, so the memories never form. Okay, and criminals know this. All right. So you can understand how this could be a risky thing to be in a program where you're being experimented on, because what is the line? If I'm a single person and I sleep at home alone, you say an average person sleeps for 6 hours, and let's say they have to do their experiments and then clean up or whatever. Just follow me hypothetically here. We're just chatting on a Saturday morning, okay, figuring out puzzles, and and I have records of other experimentations that have been done on people. So this is not like out of the blue, way out in left field. This is in reality. This happens. People are trafficked not only for sexual purposes, but also for medical experimentation. Okay? On what? On anything they're working on. At any given time, there are numerous programs and experiments being run on citizens, unbeknownst to them. It could be something small, something in the water, something at your work, something at school. It's safe social engineering. What happens if this? What happens if that? And also physical stuff. Hey, what if we pump a whole bunch of estrogen into, into these animals, and then give it to this group of people. Research it. It exists. It's a thing. Okay, so I know this sounds so far out there, but hey, wake up. We're living in a world that's been done before, continuously. There's a proven record of it that human experimentation has been done on the populations. And it's not just, you think, oh, it never happened to me. That's impossible. The possibilities are low. That's what I thought. As we're moving more into this technologically advanced world, and the big tech companies are competing, they need people to experiment on, because they're gathering data. Again, guys, what data are they looking for? This data. That's right, because the human brain can sync with devices. Okay, follow me? And that is the goal for the smart world. Okay, the Human Brain Initiative back in 2011. Human brain. What with the human brain? What about it? Syncing it. Okay, how are you going to do that? That's a big feat, to sync the brain with a computer. I mean, it can be done, but how can you do it on a, so experiments have to be ran. On who, you say? On whomever. What are the demographics? Single people would be a nice, people to choose, right? Because they're more vulnerable, right? Nobody's sleeping next to them to protect them. Okay? So a certain age, I would say younger, your brain's they're more interested. Not younger as in spring chicken, but maybe ages, 15 to 60, would be valuable. As we know, drugs are tested more on an older population, you notice, and younger, but especially, older people are given experimental drugs. Why? Because they're seen as less. I'm not saying this. You have to know how the opposition thinks, even if you don't think like that. Okay, so in some people's eyes, maybe elderly people aren't as valuable. They don't work anymore. They don't contribute in a way that's monetarily beneficial, right? Okay, they still contribute. We know this as good people to family units, to it's a person. They're people still. Obviously, we all people. We just get old, right? We're not old people. We're people who got old. I digress. So that's how the normal way to look at it is, right? To look at older people with honor and to give them the respect due. However, when you're dealing with criminal-minded persons, they're not thinking of it like that. They're thinking of the bottom line, money, money, money. Okay, who can we experiment on? Well, we got a whole group of people, that is maybe deemed dissident, deplorable, whatever, easily thrown away, not highly valued. Okay, not my opinion at all. I think old people are awesome. If they're people who got old, that's how I look at it. I just try to look like, hey, this is a person. And, you look at their younger pictures and stuff and you see their life and they weren't always old. We're going to get old too if we're so blessed, so it's an honor to get to that point, I digress. All right. So this week, again, I don't want any extra problems. I'm bringing up these names that these perps keep bringing up to me. And there's one name in particular that keeps coming up from my friends, from my family. Because when you're in this program, they like to have patterns, so they keep throwing out the same names at you. Again, my friends and family don't have as much influence as say like the government would. Okay, so again, maybe the government's just trying to pawn it off. Oh yeah, this person, that person, but they don't have that much power. Nice try, but maybe there's something to this. Okay. So one of the names that keeps being brought up is a name. I won't give you the last name. Okay. Mary. Something about Mary. Okay. This name keeps being brought up. I don't hang around this person. Okay. I had a friend by that name, and this friend, she was nice, but I always thought something was a little off about her, a little fishy. I felt almost like, knowing what I know now about how, citizen policing and, sisterhoods and stuff like that, different societies within our communities work, I believe she might have belonged to one of those, like a criminal informant type of thing, which is fine because I don't do criminal activity to be, for anybody to form on. So, but I just got a funny vibe, and she was kind of bossy. She was awesome, but a little bit, and at the time I was younger. So, you start getting a little, ruffle my feathers a bit. And at one point, this friend did, and she was older, asked me to do a threesome, okay, with her and her husband. And I'm like, what world are you living in where that's okay to ask me that? You're my friends who are older. So, when you have friends who are older, you don't, want to be wild with them. You don't want to be wild with anybody, but definitely not, we're talking straight here, right? Yeah. It's like, hey, I can do bad by myself with people my age. I don't need my older friends who are supposed to be kind of keeping an eye out to be trying to drag me down into debauchery. You know what I mean? A threesome with her and her husband. Oh my goodness, not attractive, not, no offense, but not, the whole idea is not appealing, especially with them that was back then before I was a Christian, but definitely even, just no, all over no. Okay. Excuse me here. All right. So that friend, yeah. So we ended up being social media friends. Okay. She encouraged me. I said, something's up with that social media. I feel like it's like a tracking device, which it is. We all find out years later. It is, and, and anyways, her and I were social media friends, and I didn't know how to use social media, not realizing that when people post things, it's not always about you. And sometimes it is, and you just got to accept it. And that's the risk of being on social media. It's very much a psychological mind meld. Okay. It's a mind control thing. It gets your emotions going. And whenever your emotions are going, that can be very dangerous. It's like driving on a highway, seeing everybody, oh, hi. Oh, wait, was that about me? Let me pull over and look at that. Oh, wait, that's about me. Hold on. All right, let me get out and say something. Very volatile, that social media. Very strong, very powerful like this, so we can help people with it. But you got to be very careful. And I probably was too sensitive of a user, to be, for an empath, to be in a social media where you have all this stimulation coming at you, and people saying mean things and bullying. You guys know people have actually committed suicide from being online bullied and trolled, so it's a serious thing. And so anyways, her and I had gotten into a little tiff over social media, it got really bad, and she had a whole bunch of friends and family, so they all just kind of swooped down on me. You know how that goes, looking for something to do, whatever. I just chalked it up. I had to, take my part in it, and I just left it alone, unfriended, went on. Okay, but I think it went. I dare say, I hope she was not the vindictive type, but I almost feel like she might have been a little bit. But I loved her as a friend at the time, and I hope everything's well. But her name keeps being brought up consistently to me. Now, a person's name that Mary likes to bring up, I've noticed two names: Italians, yes, and also a black church. Okay, what does this sound like? Sure, you're sounding racist. No, no, I'm just saying, I'm describing Italians and a black church. Now, when I think of that, when I think of her saying it, you know, um, and knowing other things I know about her, that tells me organized crime. Maybe is that what she's referring to when she refers to Italians? Okay, and then also, um, you know, black church. I've I heard other people mention that as far as like perverted preachers. I don't know if you know this, but again, with trafficking in communities, sometimes people can put on a big show. Oh, we're a church. Come on in, all you people who used to be on drugs and just traumatized young women and men, and come here, and we have a safe haven for you. Welcome, welcome. And you could be walking into a sex trafficking situation or a cult, right? I mean, who better to prey on than people who are, rehabilitating from drugs and traumas and everything, okay? And it's despicable, but it happens. I'm not saying anything you guys don't already know, right? Yeah, church would do that. A false church, that's where lots of demons like to hang out. Then they like to pretend. There's a scripture. Satan loves to disguise himself as an angel of light, you know? So, hence this black church. And it doesn't matter if it was a black church, a Chinese church, a Russian church. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. A Italian church, which would be like a Catholic church, right? I'm just saying, it doesn't matter what the race of the people are. I'm just describing this group of people that would make sense that they might be involved in such a thing as maybe trafficking. Now, I'm not naming the church. I'm not naming, their names. Mary might know. She mentioned it. So this is a piece of the puzzle that I'm going to unravel here. Okay. So if any suggestions, I appreciate. Let me know. All right. What else? We'll just move along here. Yeah, Italians. Again, the cab company is a big part of. I believe is a big part of my targeting. I always see them. Now, I don't know if you know this, but cab companies are usually run by, they have affiliation with unions like Teamsters, okay, because they're transportation. All right, so that falls under the Teamsters, I don't know, Dominion. And, Teamsters are known to, whatever, do little side businesses and stuff. I'm just generalizing Jimmy Hoffa and all that. I mean, do your research. I found that out in a book I was reading by a gentleman. Very good book. I would tell you the name, but I don't want to make it look bad on him. So good book though. Good advice. Okay. That's kind of brought that out. I thought, yeah, that makes sense, right? Transportation. They're transporting anything. You can transport anything in vehicles, especially big semis. Oh my goodness, you can move lots of weight and product and people, whatever. Whatever. So it makes sense, right? Long history there. All right. So yeah. What else? Oh yeah, again with this Mary, her name keeps being brought up. Even when I moved, you believe it or not, when I moved out of state to Memphis, Tennessee, her name was brought up on my perps. Very, very odd. Again, I'm like, and this woman I haven't spoken to in years, so I'm just, I mean, is it her holding on or what is it? And every time I try to reach out, no answer. So to me, that kind of displays a little bit of a guilty conscience. Because if somebody was asking me something, especially something serious, like if they were getting bullied and if I had anything to do with it, and you know what I mean, I would be like, I would just tell the truth. Whoa, well, no, I don't have anything to do with it. What are you talking about? What's happening? That's what I would do. That's what a person who didn't have anything to lose would do. So, whatever. But yeah, she kind of disappointed me asking for threesomes when I was younger. I was in my early 20s. I remember I had my boyfriend too, and he was real funny. She would say, oh, you can hang over here with your boyfriend and this and that. And I remember bringing it up to him. I met that old friend at work, and she said we can go hang out with her and her husband. And he's like, I'm not hanging out with them. I'm like, why? He's like, I just get a funny vibe. And he was very smart. His parents loved him, and you could tell he had a good developed sense of self, sometimes too good. He thought too highly, but no, he had good self-esteem. Kind of like that kid that would protect you from getting molested. The one that would have the voice of sense, like, no, we shouldn't go over there. So, yeah, so that being said, he was one of them that brought her name up to me as well. You know, I mean, her name's been being brought up left and right. So I don't know what that means, you know. Also, too, I'll just bring this up and I'll TIs. This is funny. So this week, you know how targeting goes. They've been turning it up at the employment, right? And that's funny because that's where you get your money from, right? Okay, you know, calling me names. I've so much slander. You know, it's so hard to ignore it. You know, it's directed conversation when it's at you, but you can't say anything because then they'll just pretend that it's not about you. You know, I hate people who wear shirts with cats, right? Okay, here, I have on a shirt with a cat. I'm the only one out of all 20 people that's wearing a shirt with cats, you know, and you're looking at me, right at me when you're saying it, and then you're snickering. You know, it's me. You're talking about me. Then if you dare ask, they'll deny it, and then it's even crazier, you know, because then you get mad at them for lying. Like, just say it. What's on your mind? You know, but you can't. You gotta smile and be professional and keep that money coming in. Am I right? Especially in these times. Boy, sometimes I wish I would have gotten that unemployment. Ugh, all this stress. But anyways, this week was kind of funny. I had somebody actually swear at me. Swear. Again, I believe she was a hired perp. How it works with perps is they have regular jobs. You know, they can be nurses, doctors, you know, retail people, whatever. They just happen to have gone to a citizen policing class, or they belong to a society or a brotherhood or a sisterhood or a gang. Somebody who puts them in the mix of when a person is targeted. And then, yeah, so your name goes on their naughty list. Okay, I'm telling you, it's like a beacon. Beep, 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 beep. All of them come out. You know what I mean? They're united in their bullying. It's horrible, actually, because for a person with lower self-esteem, it could be very detrimental. Thank the true God above that I know him and he loves me and I know the word of the Bible. So I'm okay with that. But this could be detrimental, which is why I try to bring attention to this program, because it's very, you know, this could hurt people. This could cause people to hurt themselves. This is really not a thing to play with, okay? But again, I'm a little bit higher level. Not higher level, but because I know the true God and because I know that he loves me, everything else is going to be okay. So I look at it from that lens, which is very clarifying. Okay. So, but yeah, they were riled up this week. I actually had one swear at me, used the F-bomb right in front of the poor, you know, resident. I said, oh man, but you can save this for later. You know, I've heard that before in this line of work. But on this one, she was an older lady. You would never think she would talk like that. Oh, man, just all, you know, I mean, not older, you know, she's working still, but older. You know, and the stories she had, more stories than a war horse. First, she was a PhD with her physical therapy degree, and then she was telling me she worked at Amazon. I thought, well, what in God's green earth, you know? Whatever. No names, just saying, swearing at me big time. And told me she was effing the boss. She probably was. I said, you know, and I said, wow, you talk like really harsh the way she was coming at me. I would be afraid to talk to people the way she was talking to me at work. I would just feel bad like that. You can't talk to people like that. But she must have gotten the green light because she was talking to me any kind of way. I said, okay, you must know somebody. As in this program, you know, you were told to do this. You got to know somebody to sit there and come at me. And I wasn't even doing anything. So like to just keep messing with somebody. And she said, yeah, you're right. I do know somebody. I'm effing the boss. How about that? I said, okay, that makes sense. You're doing somebody. You know somebody and you're doing something. I don't know if it's a sexual nature or what. But boy, oh boy. Okay, so that's, you know, that's their thing lately is playing with, especially in employment situations, because they kind of feel they got me trapped and you can't say much at work. That's why I don't feel always super comfortable at work. I mean, no offense, but I have the book, I don't know if you guys ever read it. It's called The Laws of Power. And I know this just from growing up, but you can't always be too friendly with your employers. That's where you get your money from. That's your food. That's your place to live. So, I mean, I'm friendly and I'm respectful to my employers, but I really I don't feel like I don't know about you guys, but I can't be my true self at work. No way. I kind of have a funny personality too. It can be a little bit, you know, it's you know, it's a little weird. It's a little, no, I can't be my total self. I have to put on my work personality, you know. That's just the way it is, you know. You can't, one day you could be laughing, ah, ha, 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 and the next day you could cause offense and didn't even know it. Now this person has control over your income. So, okay, gotta think smart. Am I right? Right, TIs? Hi. Okay, this is really crazy this morning. I'm trying to do it fast. Okay, but yeah, so the job, one of the things they do too at the job, it's a lot of, I noticed with my targeting to get me going, they try to do a lot of sexual innuendos. You know, being a woman, that's so sacrilegious when somebody comes at you and I'm not even having sex. That's the whole point. I don't even have a boyfriend or a partner or anything. living, or, so I don't know where all this sex is that they like to comment on. Like, who's having it? Because I'm not, and by choice. That's the whole point, is by choice. I could. It's very easy, just, I'm sure you go to the bar or you go online, and if you're willing to, show your taters a little bit, be a little flirtatious, you can find yourself a boyfriend or husband probably, but at what cost? Anyways, and I have my own stuff going on, so I'm looking for a specific person type of thing. Anyways, but this targeting is very sexual in nature, and very threatening. They're one of their favorite things to say to me, and this is such a passive aggressive thing. They'll always say, "See you later," as in, I'll be looking for, you know what I mean? But to the average person, you don't think that it's actually they're saying it like that, right? To the average person listening. But to me, because I've been on this program and I know, it's covert aggression. It's really amazing how they do it, though. So I just, I say, and I always say, this is my new answer. I say, and the exact same to you. You want to see me later? Yeah, okay. Exact same to you. So, you got to find ways around this. So yeah, but again, so this name Mary keeps being brought up. Even a guy named Manny, who I trust actually a lot. And I don't feel bad bringing up his name because I know he can protect himself. He's got a whole, people behind him. So they're not coming for him. See, they came for me because I was single and my family's kind of shitty sometimes. But Manny, he's got his own people. But even he brought up the name Mary, and I'm like, what is this? Even the ex and friends and family have brought this name up. I'm done. I'm over it. So that Mary and the Italians, that's a common theme in my targeting. What do you want? Where's the money trail? They making money off of this? Gotta be, huh? Where's that money trail? All right, another thing I want to bring up. My perp said to me, they love to call me Oreo. Now, I'm mixed. Told you my mom is white and my dad is black. I look like my mom's twin. Not that I'm like, oh, it's better to look my mom. I just do. Not that it's a good thing or bad thing, because you're not that pretty, but, she's not that ugly either, but we look alike, where I'm like her dark-haired twin, okay? We're very, very similar. I look like my aunts and my mom's family. It just is. I think we have strong genes. It comes from my grandpa on my mom's side. Anyways, so they've been calling me Oreo, because I'm mixed, I think, and it's slander. It's a way, I want to be white, but I'm black on the outside. I just want to point this out, okay? All right, look at my nail. I want to point this out, okay? Now look at my nails. Okay, they need to be done, but you see how they're black? Okay, am I black on the outside and white on the inside? Just come on, looking at me. I don't understand. Not that it would be bad if I was, but I'm not. And I'm not super white anyways, forget you for saying that. And also, too, I want to address this. Somebody said something about a free meal ticket. Let me tell you this. I've worked since I was 14 years old. I'm going to say this, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I've worked since I was 14 years old. Worked my butt off. Went to school. Worked 2 jobs sometimes. And worked hard. I'm a hard worker. Okay? Even yesterday, when we work short sometimes in my job, I always go the extra mile to make sure people are taken care of. So that being said, there's no free ticket. You worry about yours. Okay? And technically, living here in the United States, we've all got kind of a free ticket. So we've all lived in luxury. Don't worry about what I have. That's what I got to say. All right. On that note, you guys, happy Saturday. Thanks for listening. I hope this can help you seeing the real live experiences of being a TI. And if you guys have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. All right. And for you trolls, I delete your comments, but whatever. Bye, good people. Bye, TIs.